What's up, King?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Oh man, I just got back from my MRI. They had to do a retest for the MRI because I still got my PICC line in to make sure it is okay to take out. There's no infection in my spine, hopefully, so we can get that taken out of. And they did that dye contrast and
Okay.
hard on your kidneys. So it's like, oh, so
Plus, it feels like hot coals going through your body. It's weird.
Yeah, I've had it done so many times. What's going on with you?
Chilling, man. Just getting over the Thanksgiving stuff and getting ready for the Christmas stuff.
Yeah, I hear you. You traveling or staying home?
No. I'm staying home, and then celebrating with the family in Virginia and also my kids in New York. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, today we're talking about some posing today. You had your posing routine. That was everybody had back then. A lot of people had unique posing routines. Today, we don't see it anymore. Nobody has unique posing routines. It's like nothing goes into it at all. They don't practice. They don't even practice their like mandatories. They're not posing right. They're not posing correctly. And I just don't understand it. The whole aura of the entertainment aspect of it is gone. They just go up there, hit some few poses, walk around, and that's it.
Right.
What happened?
Well, you got to blame that on the judges, man. You got to blame it on the IFBB.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm good friends with Steve. Me and Weinberger, we talk. Yeah. We just talked recently, actually, and I remember there was a time where I think it was the Arnold Classic where Andreas Munzer, may he rest in peace, wasn't doing his quarter turns correctly, and Steve yelled at him right there in front of everybody at the Arnold Classic at the Veterans Memorial Auditorium. All those people watching. He stopped prejudging. He said, "No, do it correctly. That's not what we want." You know, so there was a time, and of course, you know, I won the first Arnold Classic Best Poser Award. It's a $15,000 check. You know, that was my down payment for my UConn.
Yeah.
So it's like they don't offer that anymore. You got to put that out there. You know, you got to put that out there. You got to make sure. I mean, one of the good things that they did was put that box so you can't go outside that box because Derek Lunsford was the master of, you know, being 2 feet ahead of everybody else to make himself appear bigger than everybody else. And I'm sorry, Derek, if you don't like me saying that, but it's true. You know, you do that all the time. You used to.
Talk about Derek. I spoke to him a couple of days ago. He might come on probably in the near future.
Cool. Yeah.
He never does. I don't really see him ever doing any interviews or podcasts or anything like that. But
do you blame him?
No.
Right. I mean, listen, we're at a time right now where everyone's giving that kid some shit. You know, everybody's giving him some shit. You know, there's a lot of people right now that don't think that he deserves to be Mr. Olympia. And all the pictures of him and Hottie and this and that. Listen, it's not his fault. Number one, it's the judges. The judges made a decision, and Tyler came and tried to explain it. I got to be honest with you. I listened to Tyler's explanation. I didn't agree with it, but I'm not a judge. I'm a fan from the outside looking in. But him stepping out of the Arnold Classic, I think it was the wisest thing he could have done, even though we're talking $750,000.
Yeah. He needs to rest his body. You know, he's put it through a lot, especially with you know, Aceto and all the whole deal with you know, incident last show where he was kind of not doing so well backstage and all that.
Which Chris swears that everyone's lying and there was nothing wrong. It was an emotional thing. I love Aceto boys, but I don't know about that, man.
Nonsense.
A little fishy.
Nonsense. Everybody confirmed backstage that he was like cramping up and William had to pour water down his mouth and it's not worth it. And, you know, that's where, you know, as coaches, me and you, like I got a couple classes this weekend. We don't use much diuretics at all.
I don't.
But the old school way, they use tons of diuretics. And they would start aldactone, like, you know, 30 days out. I even had one of my first coaches had me abductone 30 days out and then LASIK. And I mean, I'm like, I look great at 210. Now I'm sucked down to like 190 something. It didn't make sense.
Right.
But you know, that's the whole issue with that. And I don't really agree with that, but you know, hey, he brought a good package and, you know, he won. So congrats to him. And, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I think right now the hype, and it's good hype, is with Andrew. I think Andrew is going into Arnold. I mean, because if he can pull off the Armon, he's going to be like the number one guy going in.
Yeah,
he's going to be the number one guy going into the Olympia. And you know, I discussed this the other day in the Persian podcast that I do. You know, Andrew right now he's being taken care of, and that's very important when it comes to bodybuilding. What do I mean by being taken care of? He trains at Venus Gym in Dubai. That's Anis who owns the gym, and he is taken care of. That means he's fed right. He's given the right supplements, free memberships, rides, whatever he needs. Everything's at his beck and call, so he can be completely dominant. Because a lot of people are saying that we're looking at the next Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, I mean, I think before he just wasn't giving it. He was doing maybe like 75%, just kind of getting by. Now that he has everything in order, you know, a lot of these guys, especially the really gifted ones, they come in and they didn't grow up loving bodybuilding like we did. Like, oh my gosh, I love bodybuilding. I want to bodybuilder. They kind of got pushed into it, and they're like, okay, I'll do this, and they're not a true lover of bodybuilding. So they're just doing it, you know, to do it, but you know, the passion is maybe not there, and so maybe he's learning to get that now. You know, I know he's older. I think he's 40, but he started a little bit late in the game, so his physique has changed a lot. I mean, he's a freak, and you know, we'll see what Samson has to do, because Samson, you know, that last show, I mean, he burned a lot of muscle off, and you know, he can't be getting coached by his wife. He's got to get a coach.
Listen. If Samson's listening, okay, this is the best advice I can give from an outsider looking in. Okay, go hire Dorian Yates, train with him, train with Dorian for 6 months, 4 months, whatever it is. Yeah. He will turn your back into something else that you've never seen before. He will push you to limits that you've never been pushed before. Isn't Dorian in London? Are they in the same place?
I think Dorian's in Spain now. I think he moved to Spain.
Wherever he is, that's what he should do. And then go back to Milos. And the reason why I say go back to Milos is because Milos understands his body. Okay? Jumping from coach to coach to coach, from your wife to this guy, that's not going to work. Look at Nick.
They don't understand. They think they got They got the formula down. They think they can duplicate that. But I don't think he's going to go back to Milos. I think his pride's there, and his wife's just like, we got it. We can fix it. And
obviously, they don't. They don't got it.
No, not.
He went from Mr. Olympia to losing to fucking Martin. You know.
I know.
So he's. You know, I'm not trying to put Martin down, but you know, we're talking going backwards 4 spots. You can't do that. You have to continue. You have to make sacrifices. You have to do something different. That's why I'm saying go to Dorian.
Yeah.
Okay. Dorian will train every fiber you have to get the best out of you. And Milos understands your body. Milos took him from a 3rd-tier average IFBB pro to Mr. Olympia, and then he went on his own and did his thing with his wife. I think that's just that's just idiotic. Why would you do something like that?
I mean, I watched him training with his wife. He's just going through the motions. He's not training hard. He's like, I think like he's got his own gym in his house, and he's just kind of like, he's just there. He's not pushing it. And like, I don't understand the dynamic there, what his wife is trying to do or accomplish, or if she really loved him, she'd be like, hey, go back to Milos, go patch it up and do what you need to do, because she's holding him back.
Armon, what was the whole hype of Venice Beach, Muscle Beach, Gold's Gym? Was it because they had the best equipment? No.
Nope.
I did plenty of photo shoots there. I trained many times there. Equipment is whatever. It's okay. It's the atmosphere. You look to your left, you see fucking Chris Cormier. You look to your right, you see Paul Dillette. You look down on the other side and you see Melvin Anthony, and you're like, okay, I got this. And then you push yourself a little bit harder. You, instead of the 120s, you grab the 140s. That's the whole thing. Going and disappearing, yeah, it worked for Dorian, but Dorian didn't go and train in his base. He went to that gym, that dungeon. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then he had his training partner. If you go watch Blood and Guts, that guy was in his face, man. Yeah. Screaming in his face. That's how you do it. It's training in your house, and it's not going to work. It's not. And
we don't see it anymore. Talking about everything else, the GH used today. I'm playing the video. This guy.
You shocked me, by the way, with the text message you sent me yesterday. I was shocked.
Never going to believe how much human this body is able to take. Just watch this.
Неделю по 100 в день. 1 week he made experiment. He used 100 hormone every day for a week.
Oh wait, I must have heard that incorrectly. 100 IU every day?
Yeah.
How is he still alive?
Experience.
What was that experience like?
100 IU a day? What? 100 IU of HGH every day for a week straight is just insane. That had to have been some fake HGH. There is no way anybody is capable of taking 100 IU of it. You guys know who Rich Piana is. He was known for his insane cycle. When Rich Piana was going over his most stacked cycle, he only got up to 20 IU a day. Imagine 5 times that amount.
This guy's funny. I guess he's a little, gay fanboy, and he does videos on, all the bodybuilders, and he has pulled up. But this is the guy. I don't know if you saw a picture of these two big, I guess they're Russian guys.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dwarfing him.
These two guys were walking at the expo and taking pictures with everybody. And everybody was shocked at how big they are. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then everybody's saying, like, he has Down syndrome, but he doesn't. But what he's done to his body and the amount of growth hormone he's taking, okay, he said he did experiment with 100. What do you mean experiment with 100 IUs a day? That's unfathomable. If thinking about it, it wasn't fake GH. These guys are getting real GH. This guy's a monster. He's huge. But on stage, is it going to translate to good bodybuilder? I don't think so. But, to do what he's done and these guys, back in the day when the magazine days, you had to have a look. You had to, it mattered. You had like a good looking face, hair, and all that. That went out the window. How many good looking bodybuilders do you see anymore? It's very rare, King.
Yeah. Let's go back to some of the highlights of what you just said. That Down syndrome look, that is becoming very prominent with a lot of these guys that are, taking those ludicrous amounts of dosages. Yeah. Just stupid. Listen, 100 IUs. So 100%, it's fake. It's not real. Because I know what 10 IUs feels like. 10 IUs of Humatrope, and your hands and your feet felt like they're about to explode. You couldn't walk. I couldn't walk on the treadmill for more than 10 minutes without thinking.
That's you, King. I know guys that are taking they take farm grade stuff and they're doing 90 IUs a day. They can do it, and their body can handle it.
That's insane to me. I don't understand. But Armon, the point I'm trying to make is this. So just a couple days ago, I posted a video of me, Melvin Anthony, and JD Dawadu at a call out at the Ironman in 2001. And I just posted it and said, hey, this is what a battle used to look like. This is what the audience used to sound like. This is what symmetry, muscularity, and conditioning used to look like without having to look like something from a science experiment. And you know what the predominant response that I got, that I'm getting DMs and messages is, any one of you three on that stage could have been top 3, top 5 at the Mr. Olympia and won the symmetry round and your condition. You know why? Because of what you just said. There was a standard look you had to have. You had to have that look. Your symmetry had to be there. Your muscularity had to be there. Your conditioning, your separation had to be there. You had to have that nice V-taper and all that stuff. They don't care, bro. It's become a who's got the craziest, freakiest look competition. And then when somebody comes along who has those attributes, Hadi Choopan, you know what I'm saying? Everyone goes nuts. Oh my God. Well, no, it's not. Oh my God. No. You know what I'm saying? We had our original Hadi Choopan was Muhammad Benaziza. We had our, the short guy, with massive tons of, and the conditioning was off the charts. It was standard for us. It's not anymore.
They don't want to suffer. The GH and insulin is to blame on these guys. Instead of building a physique in 10 years, they build it in 2 or 3. And it just doesn't look the same. And we still love bodybuilding. We still love the shows and all that. But the judging criteria, I wish they would have a reset button and reset it to go back then. And people was like, oh, well, they have classic now. Classic is still not bodybuilding. I'm not a fan of a lot of these other classes. I'm not a fan of 212. Are you?
If you're gonna have Sean Clarita step on stage, and I hope we can pop that picture up somehow today of him and the other 4 guys in that in the finals. It looked like a midget versus monsters, and he won. Then my answer is get rid of that class, get the 212 up to make it just 1. If they're gonna allow and they're going to give Sean that victory. I'm not saying Sean's not an amazing bodybuilder. I actually think he can push Keon to the brink of, right there at the 212 if they battle each other again. But if you're going to give that to him, I'm speaking to Steve right now. I'm speaking to Tyler right now. I'm speaking to Jim Mannion right now. Jim Mannion pounded in my head. It's still bodybuilding. Arnold pounded in our heads. Even, you go back to the old school Arnold Classic interviews. Arnold's like, it's still bodybuilding. You know what I'm saying? It's muscularity. You have to have that mass and that size. You can't have a guy who's that small beating monsters. It's just, it doesn't work that way. But if you're going to go that route, then bring them up to the open class.
Yeah. I mean, they first had a 202, and then they changed it to 212. And then they make a class for every single person now that has a different physique. They got the wellness, they got, every class. And I miss it's just like everybody. It's like, if you can't do this, they got to make a class for you so you can win. If there was never classic physique, no one would ever know who Chris Bumstead was. Correct. He was a bodybuilder. He turned pro with the North Americans. He looked great, obviously, but he was, maybe he could have been that bodybuilder. I still think he should have won that show against Martin. I thought he beat Martin at that show. Like, I don't think Martin should have beat him at all. I'm not sure why they gave it to Martin, but maybe because Chris Steve was
the head judge. Steve was the head judge, and then I promise, the way I know Steve, if he was here, he would say it's still bodybuilding. There's muscularity involved. Yeah. Okay, if it's muscularity involved, that's fantastic. But we still, again, I'll go back to that Sean thing. If Sean can win that open class and win and get qualified for the Olympia, then that's it. There is no arguing anymore. Get rid of 212 and bring these guys up. The Arnold doesn't even recognize the 212, right? He doesn't have 212. No, because he said it. He goes, no, bring him up. They want in the Arnold Classic, they got to come up.
I know Lee Priest is very vocal too about it too. He's not a fan of the 212 either. He's like, I competed against all these other guys. I beat all these other guys. And then King, the Olympia, we know they're losing money at the Olympia.
Yes.
They need to stop flying all these people in. Fly the top 20 in. Every class got 60 people. I mean, what is the point? What is the point of that? I just don't understand that.
From what I understand, if I want to talk, in lay terms and looking at this logically as a promoter's standpoint, I would think more people will come. more fans will show up, family members, friends, this and that. But if you balance it out with your balance sheet at the end of the day, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Okay.
No.
The Olympia is supposed to be the best. Look, the Arnold Classic is an invitation. I don't think a lot of people understand that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's an invitational. Arnold has to invite you. So let's make that clear right now. Number one. Number two, the Olympia should be winners of a pro show. That's it. No point system, no second and third place. No, you win a pro show, you qualify for the Olympia. That's how it should be.
Yeah. It's just there's too many people there, and it's the whole production and all that. And I really miss the time where you knew who every competitor was. You knew their name. You knew they had their own style, their own personality. Now you've got a bunch of guys up there that are just there. And it's just like, okay, that's cool. You're on the Olympia stage, but it's got so watered down, even from the national level. It's so watered down. No one talks about nationals anymore. MD used to do road to the nationals every year. I mean, I was on there a lot the road to nationals, and the nationals would be more exciting than these pro shows now. And it's gone. Like nationals, there's a show this weekend. I've got a couple clients into the nationals the week following. Nationals, I don't know one person named competing in nationals. It's lost that competitiveness, and it's just like, okay, everyone wants to do it. Everybody wants to do bodybuilding. It's just the whole mainstream that it's became.
Well, Armon, listen. When
keep talking, I gotta pee. Keep talking.
Yeah, when the clients contact us, they contact us and then they say, I want to hire you to get me ready for a show or transformation. Okay, cool. My second question is, all right, so you have some pictures, send me this and that. I see the pictures and then I hear them saying, yeah, how far am I from being an IFBB pro? I want to be an IFBB pro next year or the year after. And I have to seriously sit down and say to myself, what the fuck have you been smoking? What's going on? Obviously I want the business. I want somebody that I'm going to coach somebody. I want their business. It's great for me. It's great for all that stuff comes into play. But right off the bat, saying that there was a time where winning the nationals, winning the USAs, and to a certain degree, winning the North Americans was such a prestigious thing. It was a huge honor. You're already a star before you even get to the IFBB. Nope. Those days are done.
Yeah. Long gone. Lost me there. Margaret!
This dry air is fucking dehydrating the shit out of me.
Lost my picture. Come on.
Where be the picture, man? Where's wifey? Get the tech expert there.
I know, right? Can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Okay, yeah. It's probably fixed.
Hold on, folks. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. There he is. He's back. Now I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Nope. Yeah. You know what it is, folks? He just had an MRI. I think all those gamma rays are messing up his reception. Too many gamma rays. It will be fun to have Lunsford here, man. I got some questions for him. I got a lot of questions for him. Hani questions, mental questions, aceto questions. It'll be fun to get inside that kid's head. Let's see what else.
Hear me?
Yep, he's back.
Good. Yeah. A lot of questions to ask Derek. He'd be an interesting guest to have on. I saw him on a podcast the other day, but nothing was being answered. No good questions.
It's not the Iron OGs, man. We're the bodybuilding Howard Sterns. We can get that. Mm-hmm. We can get some information out of him.
Yeah, talk about the MRI. It's like for the spine, it takes about 45 minutes. And they do it with a dye contrast. So they go in first and they bring you out, put the dye contrast in.
Did you go in the tube or was it an open MRI?
No, the tube, because it's more accurate. And so
I can't do it. Can't do it.
I had to take something before I went in. So I had to take several muscle relaxers.
I don't care if you give me freaking cat tranquilizer. I can't do it. I tried 3 times and afterwards I came out. I said, get me the hell out of here. And then the doctor said there's only one. And it's what we use for the New York Giants, and it's at the hospital for special surgery. I'm like, do it, book it. I ain't doing it. I can't. I can't be in that tube. I got that claustrophobia thing. I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm claustrophobic too, but I just have to take something, and they'll ask you like, do you want to be sedated in there, and they'll charge you thousands of dollars to have somebody. No, you take something of yourself. But yeah, going back to the prestige of the USA Nationals, it was like, man, I'm Mr. USA. Man, I won the national. It was like such a huge deal, and everybody knew that's Mr. USA. Or even the LA shows, I'm Mr. LA. I'm Mr. Texas.
Mr. California was huge.
Yeah.
We look at the previous champions, man. Cormier, Flex, Zuccolotto, Sean Ray. I mean, the list goes. Melvin, it gets on and on and on. You win to California, you were the number 1 top-seeded guy going into the USAs.
Mm-hmm. Where do you see the whole bodybuilding in 5 years? Where do you see the whole thing?
Shit, that's a hard one, That's a hard one because I'm also a true hardcore fan and I love the sport. And honestly, and here's my honest, I think natural bodybuilding is going to take over. That's what I think. Really? Because I get that all the time now when people come to me. And I'm just saying that from my own personal experience. I'm saying that the emails, the direct messages, all those things that I get is, yes, I want to hire you, but I'm natural. Can you deal with natural athletes? Of course I can.
Yeah.
I want to do it. I think people have just gotten to the point. I mean, listen, Armon, when I used to go out, when we went to clubs, you would see a whole bunch of jacked guys walking around. I don't see that. I don't go to clubs like that, but even in public, I don't see that. At the gym, I am a rarity in the gym, and I'm not even, I'm at like 70%. When I was at 100%, I was a, walking mutation. I don't see that. And when a guy like that walks in, you're like, oh, and people like, they don't even pay attention to that. It's just a weird phenomenon in the path that we're going. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on. And I think what's happening is the classic division opened up a whole Pandora's box, because now if you go and you tell the judges or whatever, what's up with this, the Nick Walker look and this, they're like, well, just go to classic. You don't like it, go to classic. I mean, I hear that all the time. You don't like it, go to classic. Okay, but I don't want to go to classic.
No, I don't even know that. I can't name. I mean, I can name maybe 3 classic guys' names, and that's it.
Yeah, look. One thing. Let's clarify something right now before we get some hate mail and stuff. Rough Diesel, amazing. Okay, Mike Sommerfeld, amazing. Great bodybuilders. Ramon. I'm not the biggest fan of his physique, but fantastic. Right. All those stuff. I get it. But bodybuilding is still bodybuilding. And if you don't believe me, folks, if you don't believe me, we can always do an experiment if Jake Wood wants to. Take out men's open and see how many people show up.
Yeah. Be dead.
Yeah. Take it out.
Completely dead.
Classic. Let's just do the Arnold Classic. Take out men's open class bodybuilding at the Arnold Classic and watch what happens. It will be dead.
What do you think? Jake Wood goes away. You know, Jake Wood puts all this money up and everything. He disappears. He's like, okay, I'm not gonna do this. Do you see the Olympia ever like going away?
No, because what would happen is this. Again, I'm talking from my own personal opinion. What would happen is somebody from the Middle East will pick it up and it will just hop over to Kuwait or to Saudi Arabia, just like what happened to the WWE. They took it over. The Middle East took it over. What happened to the UFC? Now, Abu Dhabi is all the biggest and this and that because the money's there, okay? And they put on these extravagant things. People just go. Even golf. Live Golf. All the top, you know, the pro PBA guys, they went. You know why? Because money talks, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, you got guys over there that'll throw around insane, stupid money. You got a lot of these guys that go out to Kuwait, Dubai, or whatever, and they got guys taking care of them that wants to see them grow and do well and get big and all that. So you know, we've got more deaths lately. You know, women, men, it's nonstop. Passed away. It's very prevalent in the Brazilian guys and girls, and I think it's a diuretic use. They take diuretics because they want to look good everywhere. Everywhere they go, they said, I want to look lean. And they're taking diuretics year round. Like the only time you would ever take a diuretic was before a show. Like even people's like, oh, I got a podcast to do. Even Milos was like, yeah, I like to take a Diazide before I do a podcast so my face will clean.
Milos, how about doing some cardio and dropping the junk food? I know Milos loves pizza, and don't say you don't, Milos, because I know you love pizza. But yeah, man, I see it too. I see it all the time. It's nothing new to me. And I would add one more: diuretics and blood pressure. That's what's doing it.
Yeah. People aren't keeping track of their blood pressure, and they don't understand. These guys are jumping on all this stuff, especially the younger kids, and it's like a game to them. It's like, see how much we can take, and they don't have no regard of their health whatsoever. They're not checking their blood pressure. I mean, I have all my guys check their blood pressure, check your blood sugar. If your blood sugar's off from taking growth hormone, get on. You know, I like to use Convey on my supplement. Convey is a strong GDA over insulin. I'm not a huge fan of it pushing a lot of insulin. You know, certain days here and there, but a lot of guys now is they use a ton of GH and insulin in the off season, and I think it's blurred the physiques. I think they all look the same. Nothing stands out. The striations are gone. That fibrous look is just not there, and it's this big blown up look. And if you come in,
let me tell you something, Armon. I just got back from Dubai. I was there 3-4 weeks ago. I went to Binu's gym, and it's 2 levels. You know, you got the bottom level, left side, right side, and you have the main gym, and then you have upper where they have all the food and have restaurants and stuff like that, which is very nice. And you can look down. You can look down at everybody. And I'm there, and I'm looking down, and I'm seeing. I was expecting to see what I used to see when I went to Gold's Venice back in the day. Not even in the same galaxy, bro. It's not. You know, the quality and the magnetism and the freak factor of what bodybuilding used to be. Watching Cormier at his best, walking through Gold's Vent, watching Flex, watching Dillette, watching, you just don't. And when I was watching these guys, there's a bunch of Arab guys that were jacked to the gills with you'd say their jawline is out to here, this and that, but they don't look impressive. They just look like they're drugged out.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a bunch of drugged out guys with their freaking jawbone and that little lump right here and the Cro-Magnon foreheads and stuff like that. You kids out there, no, we're not old school disgruntled. This and that. No, I love bodybuilding, and I give all the credit. I take my hats off to all the new generation guys coming up and stuff. But you are not what I used to see and be. You're not. Sorry, you're not.
So
I'm watching these guys train over there. Are you kidding me? I used to have 2 training partners that used to scream in my face and you suck. You get the fire. Come on, King. You're having a shit. I mean, what happened?
They just go through the motion. Everybody just goes through the motions, and it's just there's no like. I have a couple clients now that I prep and then I talk about their training. Like we train together. I'm training just to get like a little pump, and I'm like, hey man, do you train like this all the time? They're like, yeah. I'm like, man, we gotta change up your training. Like even when I train by myself, I'll be doing like hack squats or whatever. I'll be stripping the plates off, doing drop sets. No one does that anymore. No one's going balls to the wall. I never, ever, ever see that. It's all about getting something for Instagram, getting the right pictures, getting the right, all the pictures so it looks great. Then they get on stage and they don't look like that. It's just, I think
I'm the only guy in my gym, Armon. I'm the only guy in my gym that doesn't have his phone with him. You'll never see me. The only time you'll see me with a phone is when I finish training and I put on my earplugs so I can go do some cardio. That's when you'll see me. I'll bring my phone out. I'll put my, Spotify on and start watching and listen to my music. That's it. That's the only time. Other than that, I'm concentrating. I'm focusing. I'm always counting backwards numbers. Numbers are going through my head. Okay, 60 seconds left. Let me take I've been retired since 2008. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's just I think a lot of people they don't have a passion for bodybuilding. They don't love bodybuilding. They don't know the history of bodybuilding. They just do it because it's something cool to do. Like, I want to put some pictures on Instagram and all that. And they don't truly love bodybuilding. Like, love every aspect of it. Love the suffering. Love this. And I keep hearing more and more people about, Reddit True Try, the cheat code. Now people are coming out and saying, yeah, it did mess my digestion up. I didn't carb up right because, it slowed everything down. But you know what? Money. All the clinics are pushing it. Everybody's pushing it. People are getting coupon codes. People's making money off of it. So they're pushing it. There's a lot of drugs that are involved in bodybuilding now that should not even be there. They make it very overcomplicated, and we've talked about it before. The coaches saying do all these wacky things, and when you get somebody to tell you to straight up to do this, and they're like, "Well, this guy had me doing no." Well, how did you look? Why don't you try it this way, our way, like King and I, and see how you look? And the people that do, they're like, "Oh, wow, this is the way you do it." And coaching is not only, giving someone a program; it's learning their life and, just not making them better on the stage, like making them a better person in general. I have my 2 clients in town now. They're just like, man, you have changed my life. You have changed the way I feel, the way I look at myself, my confidence. You realized, like one of my clients, Jay, he's probably listening. He's a nurse. And I said, bro, you're lazy. You got a great job. You're complaining about this. Why are you complaining? You have a great life. People's been through some really rough stuff. You have a really good life, and you take things for granted. And a lot of people do that, and they don't understand how good they have it. And it's just the whole suffering factor that we like to suffer. That was the whole process of it. It was just like that, yeah, I'm doing this. Everybody wants to have the easiest cheat code and do it the easiest way possible. And it shows in the physiques. Yeah. Are the guys bigger today? Yeah, they're bigger. They have some more muscle. Yeah. Is the quality the same? No. But let's say you got a guy that comes up there with the 90s look. Are they going to do well? No. The judges are. I put it a lot on the judges because the judges will tell people, yeah, just come and do this. Come in fuller, come in bigger, come in bigger, come in bigger. And I put a lot of it on the judges. And
Me too.
On the pro level, we all know that the same judges, they've been judging for 30 years. Get some new people in there. You know, it's the same old people still judging.
Because it's politics, bro.
I know.
Forget bodybuilding. Look at actual politics. You know, senators that they go on to be, 80, 85, 90 years old, they're freezing up on the camera. Their mouths are open. They look like they're about 2 minutes away from keeling over. And people still vote these idiots in. No, you want to get some new blood in there. You want to know why that Maldani won in New York is because people in New York are like, fuck it. We can't trust old people no more. I'm sorry. We got to get some young blood in there, even if he's a socialist and he's a this or that. Let's try something new. Until people figure it out, it's just going to be the same thing. I'm not saying anything about the judging. Tyler is young. Tyler got in there, did what he had to do. But what we say here on Iron OGs, we mean it. It's on you, judges. You guys are dictating the sport right now. Okay, so when a guy comes in there with beautiful symmetry, like you're right. If a Lee Labrada competed now, I think he would be out of the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be winning everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's Flex Wheeler. If Flex Wheeler would have, I was there. I was a young buck in the audience and watching him walk out on stage, thinking to myself, how do you compete against that? The flow, the little bones with incredible round muscles around it. And it's just, it's not there. And once again, we go back to the same thing that we said in every podcast we've had. Social media fucked everything up. It really did.
They all have the same look, and we're not bashing on them. It is what it is. If we were probably competing today too, we would try to keep up with that same look because that's how you place better. That's how you do everything. And like I said, we need a reset button. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Probably not. It's just going to keep going.
It all depends, bro. It all depends on where it goes and how the judges are going to sit here and factor things in. So we shall see.
I think they're going to keep adding more classes, King. I think more classes are going to be added.
Maybe, and I don't know if you're getting what I'm getting, but a lot of my bikini girls that have been with me for 5, 6, 7 years, they want to go to Fit Model.
Yeah.
And the number one excuse they're giving me is I don't want to take the drugs. That's what they say. And we're being honest here. That's the first. They're like, look, don't want to take the drugs. My voice has dropped 2 octaves. Okay. My thingy down there is, not so little no more. I don't want it. My husband doesn't want. My boyfriend doesn't want it. I want to go to Fit Model. But, and I'll say this with all conviction here, I've seen a few pictures of the Fit Model division recently. It's starting to look like bikini. They're starting to get harder and harder and harder. It's like, I don't know, man. The Fit Model girls just last year, looked like beach girls with zero muscularity. I saw a recent picture of of 5 or 6 of them standing. It looked like the beginnings of the bikini division from a few years back. What are you going to do, man? They're going to keep going. That's why, as coaches, when the people come and they're like, yeah, I'm like, so what happened to your last show? Well, they said this and that. I'm like, all right, so we got to come in as hard as possible. But they said they don't want us hard. Yes, they do. Don't listen to that. Dude,
no.
I'm bringing you in as hard as possible. Because trust me, and I say this to every single one of my clients, it's better to hear you were too hard than you were out of shape.
Yeah.
That you were out of shape hurts a lot more than you were too hard.
The whole spilled over, overly full look, that's not a good look. That whole shredded to the bone, that's impressive. And that's what used to win shows. Local levels too. Conditioning would always win. And somehow we got away from that. And I got
a girl that just signed up, Mary Jane from Toronto, Persian girl. She's a pole dancer, not a stripper, but she teaches pole dancing, and she's great. I saw the pictures from last year, and I said, "You do realize what's about to happen, right?" She goes, "What?" I said, "Those pictures that you sent me, where you got 3rd or 4th place, that looks like 6 weeks out to me." She goes, "What the hell are you talking?" I'm like, "I'm telling you right now. That's to my eyes, you look like you were 6 weeks out." She goes, what am I going to look like on stage? And I sent her, some of my clients, and she goes, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I'm not. That, to me, that's what you should be looking like. That's the reason why you got 4th place. But they told me they don't want us muscular. I'm like, they're blowing smoke up your ass. They want muscular.
You can't, unfortunately, even when I was judging, I would give honest opinions, like critiques. They would come up to us after the show. And then the volume became too much where they had just to email you and all that. But give them a true critique. You're not going to get a true critique when you go up to the judges. They're going to just be like, say something. They're just going to say whatever. They're not going to really point you in the right direction. And all the promoters, they care about numbers, 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 and numbers. They don't care about putting on a quality show that gives out cool shit that, like when you put on your show. You said Weinberger said it was way over the top. Like, how's it way over the top? Bodybuilding shows they're so boring, King. You go there and you're sitting through all these classes, the bikini classes. You're like, my goodness, it's midnight, and these girls just keep coming and keep coming.
You're speaking into dead ends, my friend.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, man. I flew in Batista to host it for me. Why? We're boys. We're childhood boys. I flew in Ciccarello. I flew in Darren Charles to do his, because I wanted the best posing routine. I didn't care about who's top. I wanted entertainment. And when I was with Muscle Tech at the time, Muscle Tech said, well, we can send you Jay. We can send you. I'm like, no, I want Darren. They're like, you don't want me to? I'm like, I want Darren. I want Darren Charles. And Darren never forget that. He said, man, I appreciate it, man. That's much respect. I'm like, yeah, man, go out there, do a 10-minute breakdance routine. Do your thing, man. We handed out 4-foot trophies. 4-foot trophies. We little pellet maggot little things that they hand out. No, I went all out. I had 3 tables in the back full of food that I purchased for the athletes. I had the female bodybuilders, because Jantana did the Jantana Pro Women's Bodybuilding in conjunction with the King Kamali Classic. Every single one of those pro girls were in tears coming up to me backstage saying, you treated us better than any pro show we've ever went to. Yeah. And then at the end, I was told, don't do it again.
It's about feeling special, and the people they go to these shows now, and they don't feel special. They get, you go through it. You remember the goodie bags they used to give out? You used to get so much cool shit. You're like, go look through, like, oh my gosh, you don't get much at all anymore. And it's just, it is what it is. I know, we sound like we're complaining, hating. We're just stating the facts. The people that don't know that what we're talking about, because they weren't there. They weren't there during those magical times. And still, King, when you eventually go to Olympia, you're going to be like, what is this? What is this expo? What is this expo? It's, you go to every booth, like, who is this person? Who is this person? Who is this person? And, they got these little influencer lines and all. What the problem is, all these people stepped in bodybuilding, like you got the Nick Strength and Powers and all those people that were just fanboys of bodybuilding. All they did was grab stuff from Instagram and make videos of it. That stuff was already out there, and they got a following from that. They've done nothing special. Nothing's original at all anymore.
Armon, when I saw Nick Strength and Power co-hosting Olympia, that was the death of bodybuilding right there. That was the end. That's when I knew everything was done. That was like when Dexter retired and the last of the Mohicans, because that's what Dexter was, the last of the group of us from the 90s and from the late 90s to 2000s who retired. It was like an end of an era right there. It was that Nick Strength, that moron, that imbecile, that goofball douchebag. He's co-hosting, and Phil Heath was looking at him like he wanted to freaking tear his head off for all the bubble gut nonsense that he used to talk. And I'm just like, what? That's it. I mean, we had our Ron Avedons and GetBig.coms, but they never really, they never pushed it. We were having fun with these guys. You know what I'm saying? We'd smack them around. And then we have that. So Dan Solomon, I'm telling you right now, Dan, I've known you for a long time, and we're friends and stuff like that, but I don't, me, I've never, ever not told you what I think. Don't do that shit again, bro. Don't. Okay. Don't disgrace sport like that. Have Sean Ray on, have Bob on, have Phil Heath on, have Jay Cutler on. Yeah, we're talking OGs, not these douchebags.
That was embarrassing. This guy asked, were guys harder back then because they were more depleted and not as full? On the average, the guys today are leaner and in better condition, question mark. And does lighting plays a factor on how the picture's looking at? No, the guys are different. They looked at a totally different look. It wasn't this skin busting look where you had no striations feeling. You saw every single fiber everywhere, all over the body. The drug protocols changed. That's what happened big time. You had all these new coaches come in and, just giving these new drug protocols out where it's so much insulin, 100 IUs a day insulin, so much growth hormone. And yeah, you get big quick, but the bodies all look the same. King, you remember you used to cut the head off of every single bodybuilder and you could tell exactly who that body was. You could get a picture of an arm and you knew that was, Lee Priest's arm. That was King Kamali arm. You knew who arm that was. Now you do that, you don't even know who the body part is.
Here's the thing. You just brought up a very good point. We can answer this guy's question, okay, Connor. We would cut GH out 2 weeks out, maximum 10 days before a show.
Yeah.
We only did insulin the last 3 days to load for the show. We took out all the androgens about 7 days out. Now, 500 to 800 IUs of HCG all the way to the morning of the show. 10 to 20 to 30 IUs of growth all the way to the day of the show. Insulin loading all the way to the day of the show. Androgens, anadrol. Oh, I need more red blood cell. EPO, all the way up to the day of the show. Why? Because they're rewarding fullness instead of that beautiful aesthetic look. If Dexter Jackson was competing at the Mr. Olympia, I think he'd be 5th or 6th place.
Yeah.
I think he would be.
They wouldn't reward it.
They would be given 5th or 6th place because they don't want that look. And if you ask Dexter, he said it himself. He said it on Patrick Bet-Davis's show, Value Tainment. He did his podcast. He goes, they don't want that. They don't want that sucked in look. They want that fullness. But that fullness comes with a price.
The health too. You got a lot of these guys like we see passing away every single week. Someone else passed away. It's not because social media now we see it happening. Back then that wasn't happening. Guys didn't get sick like that. The guys weren't, using stuff year round. They came off. And when people say, yeah, I would come off 3 months like you or whoever, even me, I would come off 3 months after a show. People no, they don't believe it. They're like, yeah. People now after a show, what do? Instead of coming off, they blast the gear more. I need a rebound. I need more gains and gains and gains. And these guys, they're cutting their lives extremely short, and they don't see life after bodybuilding. I'm worried about these guys like the Nick Walkers and all that. I don't see it ending good for Nick King.
I'm glad you brought up Nick because I just saw new pictures of him.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Nick? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? I'm not a Nick Walker hater.
Yeah.
Okay. I've said it 1,000 times, and Nick is good for the sport. I think he's making some mistakes by jumping up and jumping around from this coach to that coach or what have you, but he looks like he's getting bigger. Size isn't an issue. I get what you were, Nick. I understand that is your biggest asset. That is your calling card. You're the mutant. I get it. But so was Branch Warren. So was Marcus Rule. These guys were mutants, but they still had shape, quality. It had some type of aesthetic beauty to their physiques. What are you doing, bro? I don't understand. I don't get it.
If these guys make it to 40 and 50 years old, just think about how they're going to look. Their bodies were built in the pharmacy, in the lab. They were not built hardcore training, nutrition, dieting. They were built in the lab. The more the drugs, the better. I see podcasts all the time. I see these guys talking about, even guys with MDs talking about, like stuff to take and what you should take. It's all focused on drugs. That's all everybody cares about. And it's got we've got so far away from the hard training and the suffering, and you know, we sound like a broken record, but I mean, it is what it is. And you know, we still report on the shows. We still love bodybuilding, but I just don't ever see that budding reset. I see these new classes, like you said, the fit model, they're getting bigger and bigger. I miss when figure was figure, when we had Nicole Wilkins. That was a top figure girl. Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Fun.
And yeah, you had the bikini girls that had a certain look. Now they bigger. The wellness girls, these wellness girls, they're bigger than the bodybuilders, King. Their quads are this huge. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah, no, I get it, bro. I get it. It's becoming the number one division in Asia and Middle East for the girls.
Yeah,
they're loving that gigantic quad, gigantic ass, small waist look. They're loving that look, but it comes with a price.
Yeah,
it comes with a price. You know, you are going to pay that price, and you're gonna understand it when the time comes. Again, man, you know, what can you do? It's the trends, and you know, you try to talk to people, you try to say this, you try to say that, and there was a time when these women, when they do the excessive drugs, and they would look really, really bad, and their faces will get fucked up, and then they would lose their identities and stuff like that. But now these girls have learned that, okay, I'll just go get plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go get my nose like a little, but there's an actual thing called the Barbie doll thing that you can buy, package, where they do this to the cheekbones, they make your nose like Tinkerbell, they make your chin like this, they shave this down, they make you and of course you got these gigantic mutacious women now with pretty faces because all the plastic fucking surgery.
Yeah, I don't like it. Anything else, King?
No, man. I mean, we did what we had to do this time. There was nothing really to talk about, but I think we talked about all good stuff.
Nothing's going on now. Next Thursday, I had to reschedule my gum surgery because I had an MRI today. I do the gum surgery, so I can't talk for a whole week or do anything of that. So next week, if you want to do something like Monday or Tuesday, we can talk about it and do it, or we can just skip to the following week. We'll
make it happen. See what's going on.
We'll play by ear, but love you, brother. Have an amazing day. I'm gonna go rest. My back is killing me. I'm tired.
Go, man. Go rest.
MRI. But I love you, brother. Have an amazing day.
Take care.
Talk to you soon. Later, King.